Hi students, all of you good morning. Welcome to the class. In this class we are going to discuss some CET and NEET model MCQs from the chapter biomolecules, and the topic is carbohydrates. Yes, please open your volume. Please open your volume. So on the screen you are seeing the chapter name biomolecules, objective exercise 3, and page number 130. The page number is 130. Objective exercise 3, page number 130. Yes, please read that question. Question number 5. Please read the question number 5. Methyl alpha D glucoside and methyl beta D glucoside are, once again, methyl alpha D glucoside and methyl beta D glucoside are. Read the options. The first option is epimers. Wait a minute. Yes, the first option is epimers. The second option is anomers. The third option enantiomers. And the fourth option is conformational diastereomers. Yes, if you watched the previous videos of this chapter, there we studied about two words. In this chapter particularly, biomolecules chapter, we studied about two words mainly, anomers and epimers. Here I am going to say about anomers. The methyl alpha D glucoside and methyl beta D glucoside are, option is anomers. So you will get a doubt, sir, what are meant by anomers? The first doubt. And what is the structure of methyl alpha D glucoside and what is the structure of methyl beta D glucoside? And how can we say these two are going to be the anomers? Yes, for this one, first here we have to observe glucose. Glucose formula C6H12O6. This is the open chain structure of the glucose. Carbon, double bond oxygen, single bond hydrogen, single bond. Here it is the carbon. The cross point is indicating this is a carbon. On the left side hydrogen, on the right side OH group. Like that, at the third carbon, on the left side OH group, right side hydrogen. At the fourth carbon, right side OH group, left side hydrogen. At the fifth carbon, right side OH group, left side hydrogen. And the sixth carbon is having, this is the group, that is CH2OH. This is the structure called as open chain structure of glucose. Open chain structure of glucose. From this open chain structure of glucose, we are going to draw closed chain structures of glucose or cyclic structures of glucose. How we are going to draw? Very simple. See this fifth carbon. This fifth carbon is having the oxygen atom. This oxygen atom is going to be bonded to the first carbon. This is the first carbon. So what are going to link with each other? First carbon and fifth carbon of glucose are going to be bonded with oxygen atom. See this structure, left side structure. First carbon, second carbon, third carbon, fourth carbon and fifth carbon. Between which and which? Between first carbon and fifth carbon, there is a cyclization. There is a cyclization. Between the first carbon and fifth carbon, oxygen atom is going to be bonded with a single bond. Actually, if you say this line, this is only a single bond. Don't consider as three bonds. This is only a single bond. We have to represent like this one. We have to represent like this one. This is a single bond. So single bond between carbon and oxygen. Again a single bond between oxygen and carbon. So here oxygen atom is going to cyclize the C1 carbon and C5 carbon. And in this structure, at C1 carbon, OH group is present on the right side. Whereas in the right side of the structure, at the first carbon, OH group is present on the left side. So if you see the left side structure and right side structure, there is only one thing we have to observe, that is change in the relative position, of OH group at C1 carbon atoms. Once again, change in the relative position of OH group at C1 carbon atom. In this compound, the OH group is present on the right side, whereas in this compound at the C1 carbon, OH group is present on the left side. So there is a relative change in the configuration of OH group at C1 carbon atoms only. If you observe the C2 carbon atoms, C3 carbon atom, C4 carbon atom, C5 carbon atom, C6 carbon atom, in left side compound as well as in the right side compound, both are appearing same. Here left side hydrogen is there, right side OH is there. Here also same. Left side hydrogen is there, right side OH is there. So C2 carbon, C3 carbon, C4 carbon, C5 carbon, C6 carbon, all are having same configurations of hydrogen atom and OH groups. Whereas in the case of C1 carbon atom, here OH group is present on the right side. Here OH group is present on the left side. This type of isomers, these two are having same formula. What is the formula? C6H12O6. These two are indicating glucose, but the left side and right side compounds are indicating cyclic structure of glucose, and they are differing in their relative position of OH group at C1 carbon atom. Now this type of isomers are called as anomers. So what are meant by anomers? How can we understand the anomers? So here you can see the two cyclic hemiacetal forms of glucose differ only in the configuration of the hydroxyl group at C1. So where they are going to differ with each other? They are going to differ in their hydroxyl group at C1 carbon atom. Such type of cyclic hemiacetal forms of glucose, they are called as anomeric compounds or anomeric isomers or anomers. So C1 carbon atom is called as anomeric carbon, right? So anomers means they readily get interconvert from one form to another form. Once again, anomers can easily interconvert from one form to another form. Here the middle one is indicating open chain structure, left side is indicating closure chain structure or cyclic structure, and the right side is also indicating closure chain structure or cyclic structure. So there is a easy possibility or readily interconvertible forms of isomers which differ in the relative position of OH groups at C1 carbon atom. Such isomers are called as anomers, and that carbon is called as anomeric carbon. So we can say that glucose is going to contain how many anomeric forms? Glucose is going to contain two anomeric forms. What are the two anomeric forms of glucose? The first one is alpha hyphen capital D hyphen plus hyphen. So simply it is called as alpha D plus glucose, and this is called as beta D plus glucose. So in the case of beta D plus glucose at the C1 carbon atom, OH group is present on left side, whereas in the case of alpha D plus glucose, OH group is present on right side at the C1 carbon atom. So alpha D plus glucose and beta D plus glucose are readily interconvertible. They differ in the relative position of OH groups at C1 carbon atom only. Such isomers are called as anomers. So final conclusion is, what are meant by anomers? What are meant by anomers? The two cyclic hemiacetal forms of glucose differ only in the configuration of the hydroxyl group at C1 carbon atom. That carbon is called as anomeric carbon, and such isomers are called as anomers. So the alpha form and beta form are the anomeric forms of glucose. So what are the examples of anomeric forms of glucose? Alpha D plus glucose and beta D plus glucose are the anomers. Right, coming to the question once again. Read the question. Methyl alpha D glucoside and methyl beta D glucoside. So here in this question, glucose is not given. What is given? methyl alpha D glucoside and methyl beta D glucoside is given. What are the structures of methyl alpha D glucoside and methyl beta D glucoside? So very simple. Say this one. What is this compound? Alpha D plus glucose. Alpha D plus glucose. At the C1 carbon atom, which group is present? OH group is present. So in this OH group, if we remove one hydrogen, this hydrogen is removed. If this hydrogen is removed and substituted with CH3 at the C1 carbon atom in glucose, if the OH group containing hydrogen is substituted with CH3, then we can write OCH3. OCH3. Then the compound is called as methyl. The compound is called as methyl alpha D glucoside. And similarly, from the beta D plus glucose, in the beta D plus glucose, OH group is present at C1 carbon atom on the left side. The OH group is present at the C1 carbon atom on the left side. In this OH group, if this hydrogen is substituted with the CH3 group, then the compound obtained is called as methyl beta D glucoside. So here you can see the structures. Methyl alpha D glucoside, methyl alpha D glucoside and methyl beta D glucoside. So at the C1 carbon, instead of OH, hydrogen is substituted with CH3 on the right side. In this compound, at the C1 carbon atom, OH group, hydrogen is substituted with CH3. So this compound is called as methyl beta D glucoside and this compound is called as methyl alpha D glucoside. These two are readily interconvertible. So then we have to write, what we have to write here? Readily interconvertible means what we have to write? Gives rise to and gives rise by. So these two forms are readily interconvertible and these two compounds differ in the relative position of C1 carbon atom. Hence, these two are called as anomers. Anomers. So we can say that what are the examples of anomers? In this compound, what are the examples of anomers? What are the examples of anomers? Methyl alpha D glucoside and methyl beta D glucoside are the examples of anomers. Once again, what are meant by anomers? How can we understand anomers? What is the definition of anomers? Very, very important concept it is. What are anomers means? What are anomers? The readily interconvertible forms. The readily interconvertible forms of two optically active isomers which differ in their relative position of OH group at C1 carbon atom. This is the important one. Once again, optically active isomers which are readily interconvertible with each other and which differ in their relative position of OH group. Such compounds are called as, or such isomers are called as anomers. So after the class, please read the PDF. I'm going to send you the PDF once again. Please read the PDF. You can understand, right? So this is the paragraph you have to understand about the anomers. But in this case, we are saying about glucoside. In this question, if you observe the question clearly, methyl alpha D glucoside is given, not the glucose, glucoside. Here, methyl beta D glucoside is given. When we are going to say ide, glucoside, very simple. If you observe the cyclic structures of alpha D plus glucose and beta D plus glucose, these are also called as glucosides. Glucose or glucoside. Why? Because means between the carbon atom, C1 carbon atom and C5 carbon atom, which group is present here? Between the C1 carbon atom, this is the C1 carbon atom. Between the C1 carbon atom and C5 carbon atom, which group is present? Single bond or single bond group is present. Once again, between the C1 carbon atom and C5 carbon atom in glucose, which group is present? Single bond or single bond group is present. Single bond or single bond group is called as ether group. Once again, the single bond or single bond group is called as ether group. So whatever the compound containing ether group as well as alcohol group. Here ether group is there, single bond or single bond is there, ether group is there as well as alcohol is there. If you observe this carbon, first carbon, the first carbon itself containing ether group as well as alcohol group. Say this one. This is the carbon. This carbon is having ether group and the same carbon is having alcohol group. So whatever the compound, if the same carbon is containing ether group as well as alcohol group, such compounds are called as hemiacetals. Hemiacetals. On the board, I am going to write the word hemiacetals. Very important one. Hemiacetal. So what are meant by hemiacetals? What are meant by hemiacetals? Hemiacetal means very simple. Take a carbon. I am going to take different alkyl groups. One is the R, second one is the R dash. And here I am going to write alcohol group. Alcohol group, that is OH group. Here I am going to write ether. Ether means single bond O single bond group. Single bond O single bond group is called as ether. So this group is indicating the ether group. And this group is indicating the alcohol group. Both ether group and alcohol group are present on the same carbon. This is the carbon. On the same carbon, both alcohol group and ether group is present. Such compounds are called as hemiacetals. Very, very, very important word. Hemiacetals. Right? So here we are going to say the cyclic structures of glucose once again. Cyclic structures of glucose. Once again, the cyclic structures of glucose on the screen. Yes. If you see the left side structure, between first carbon and fifth carbon, single bond or single bond is there. This linkage is called as glycosidic linkage. So the linkage between C1 carbon atom and C5 carbon atom through oxygen atom, this linkage is called as glycosidic linkage. Glycosidic. Then this compound is also called as alpha D plus glucoside, because glycosidic linkage is there, glucoside. Here in this compound, between C1 carbon atom and C5 carbon atom, single bond O, single bond group is there. So this linkage, single bond O, single bond linkage is called as glycosidic linkage. Of course, it is the ether group. Here in this carbohydrates, this type of single bond O, single bond linkages are called as glycosidic linkages. So this compound, beta D plus glucose, also called as beta D plus glucoside. Beta D plus glucoside. But in our question, what is given once again? Methyl alpha D glucoside and methyl beta D glucoside is given. That means in the alpha D plus glucose, here at C1 carbon atom, hydrogen is substituted. OH group hydrogen is substituted with CH3. Then that is called as methyl alpha D glucoside. In beta D plus glucose, at the C1 carbon atom, OH group, if the hydrogen is substituted with CH3, then that is called as methyl beta D glucoside. Both are readily interconvertible and both differ in the relative position of OH groups at C1 carbon atom. Hence, both are the examples of anomers. Very, 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 very important topic for NEET as well as CET. So please try to solve this type of models, that is based on anomers and epimers. In the next topic, we will discuss what are epimers. So this is all about this question. Methyl alpha D glucoside and methyl beta D glucoside are the examples of anomers because they are readily interconvertible with each other. Yes, text me your response. Are you having any doubt? Are you having any doubt regarding this topic? Please give your response. Please give your response. Right. Thank you. Yes, moving to the next question. Yes, after this class, I will send this PDF, same PDF I will send. Please read that PDF once again. Just listen to the class now. No need to write. Yes, next question number 14. Question number 14. Read the question number 14. Fructose reduces Tollens reagent due to fructose reduces Tollens reagent due to first option asymmetric carbon, second option primary alcoholic groups, third option secondary alcoholic groups, and the fourth option is enolization of fructose followed by conversion to aldehyde by a base. So these are the options given. Once again the question, fructose reduces Tollens reagent due to, yes, fructose. What is the formula of fructose? What is the formula of fructose? Text me your response. What is the formula of fructose? What is the formula of fructose? The formula of fructose is C6H12O6. If we write the open chain structure, if we are going to write the open chain structure, this is the open chain structure of fructose. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6 carbons are present here. Open chain structure of fructose. Yes, text me. In this structure, which functional group is present? Fructose contain which functional group? Fructose is containing which functional group? Whether aldehyde functional group is there or ketone functional group is there. Fructose is containing which functional group? Ketone functional group. Single bond C double bond O single bond. Once again, single bond C double bond O single bond group is there. This group is called as ketone functional group. Fructose is containing which functional group? Ketone functional group. So the carbohydrate which is containing ketone functional group, they are called as ketoses. The carbohydrates which are containing ketone functional group, they are called as ketoses. Fructose is an example of ketose because fructose is containing ketone functional group. Yes. Glucose is containing glucose. What is the structure of glucose? What is the formula of glucose? What is the formula of glucose? The formula of glucose is C6H12O6. The formula of fructose is also same, C6H12O6. But what is the difference between glucose and fructose? Glucose is going to contain C double bond O single bond H, that is aldehyde functional group. Single bond C, single bond second carbon. First carbon, this is the second carbon, and from third carbon, fourth carbon, fifth carbon, and sixth carbon. Sixth carbon is containing CH2OH. Sixth carbon is containing CH2OH. Sixth carbon is same, CH2OH. Fifth carbon is same, single bond OH, single bond H. Fourth carbon is same, single bond OH, single bond H. Third carbon, coming to this third carbon is same, single bond OH, single bond H. Coming to the second carbon, here it is having OH and H. So this is the structure of glucose. Particularly it is called as D plus glucose. D plus glucose. Simply I am saying glucose. Otherwise it is called as D plus glucose. D plus glucose. To understand all these words, you have to watch the previous videos. Then only you can understand. Anyhow, coming to this point, fructose is containing which functional group? Fructose is containing which functional group? ketone functional group. Whereas glucose is containing which functional group? Single bond C double bond O single bond H. Single bond C double bond O single bond H. Glucose is containing aldehyde functional group. So glucose is an example of aldose, whereas fructose is an example of ketose. Because glucose is containing aldehyde functional group, hence glucose is called as aldose. And glucose is containing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 carbons. That is hexose. 6 carbons are there, hexose. So we can say that glucose is an example of aldo hexose. Whereas fructose is an example of how many carbons are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 carbons are there. It is called as ketohexose. So this is the general brief information about glucose and fructose. Now my point is, what is the functional group of carbonyl compounds? How can we represent the carbonyl compounds? How many types of carbonyl compounds are there? What are called as carbonyl compounds? Simply we can say that aldehydes and ketones are called as carbonyl compounds. Once again, aldehydes and ketones are called as carbonyl compounds. Aldehydes, which group is present in the aldehyde? Single bond C double bond O single bond H group is present. That is the aldehyde functional group. And single bond C double bond O single bond group is present. That is called as ketone functional group. So in the aldehyde functional group or in the ketone functional group, what is the common thing? What is the common thing in the aldehyde or ketone functional group? Single bond C double bond O single bond group. Here single bond C double bond O single bond is there. In the aldehyde, in the ketone, single bond C double bond O single bond is there. So the common thing in aldehydes and ketones is single bond C double bond O single bond. Such compounds are called as carbonyl compounds. So what are meant by carbonyl compounds? What are meant by carbonyl compounds? Carbonyl compounds means the compounds which are containing single bond C double bond O single bond groups. Such compounds are called as carbonyl compounds. The examples for carbonyl compounds are aldehydes and ketones. Now coming to the question, suppose if 2 test tubes are given, here test tubes are not available there. Okay, anyhow, suppose 2 test tubes are given. To make you understand better, I am giving a more explanation. This is one test tube, suppose this is another test tube. This test tube is containing one compound and this test tube is containing another compound. I know that this test tube is containing aldehyde functional group containing compound. This test tube is containing ketone functional group containing compound. How we have to identify? How we can identify aldehydes and ketones? So in the laboratory, identification of functional groups, that is the qualitative analysis. In the first PUC also you have done about inorganic chemistry. That is salt analysis you have done. So there is the organic analysis also there. That is identification of functional groups, identification of aldehydes and ketones. So to identify the aldehydes and ketones, what we are going to use? Tollens reagent. To identify the aldehydes and ketones, or to separate aldehyde from ketones, we are going to use Tollens reagent. Tollens reagent means ammonical silver nitrate solution. Ammonical silver nitrate solution is called as Tollens reagent. This is used to identify aldehydes and ketones. Tollens reagent is used to identify aldehydes and ketones. What is meant by Tollens reagent means ammonical silver nitrate solution, that is represented as Ag NH3 taken twice, Ag NH3 taken twice, NO3. Yes, in the D block and F block chapter and in the coordination compounds you studied. This is an example of This is an example of which type of compound? Which type of compound it is? A complex compound. Square bracket of Ag, NH3 taken twice, NO3. This is the central metal. These are the ligands. This is the primary valency. So this type of compounds are called as complex compounds. So what is the name of Tollens reagent means? Ammonical silver nitrate solution is called as Tollens reagent. Its formula is written as Ag, NH3 taken twice, NO3. This is used to identify aldehydes and ketones. Now coming to the point, yes, we are taking the glucose and fructose. Glucose. Glucose is going to contain aldehyde functional group, whereas fructose is going to contain ketone functional group. Fructose is going to contain ketone functional group. Glucose is going to contain aldehyde functional group. Okay, fine. What is the use of Tollens reagent means? What is the use of Tollens reagent means? Tollens reagent can be reduced by aldehydes. So when an aldehyde is going to react with Tollens reagent, aldehyde is containing single bond C, double bond O, single bond H group. This hydrogen of aldehyde is donated towards the Tollens reagent. So hydrogen donating species is called as reducing agent. So whenever a compound containing aldehyde group is going to react with Tollens reagent, the aldehyde is acting as a reducing agent. The aldehyde is going to get oxidized. How the aldehyde is going to get oxidized? The aldehyde is going to get oxidized too. Here hydrogen is removed, oxygen is added, then single bond C, double bond O, single bond O minus, COO minus ion. COO minus ion is called as carboxylate ion. So here this reaction is possible. So whenever Tollens reagent is going to react with aldehydes, then the aldehydes are going to get oxidized to carboxylate ions. There is a possibility of reaction of Tollens reagent with aldehydes, but there is no possibility of reaction of ketones with Tollens reagent. So when Tollens reagent is going to react with a ketone, whether the reaction is possible or not, there is no reaction is going to happen. So finally we can conclude that Tollens reagent is used to identify aldehydes and ketones. Aldehydes can reduce Tollens reagent but not ketones. So based on this concept, we have to solve this question. Yes, coming to the question once again, this is the concept for the question given. Yes, read the question once again on the screen. Read the question on the screen. Fructose reduces Tollens reagent due to. My dear students, please tell me whether this statement is correct, whether the given question is correct, or not. Because fructose contains which functional group? Fructose contains which functional group? Ketone functional group. So here the time is less to explain this one. Just I explained only the concept. I will send a recorded video about remaining problems. Please try to watch the regular videos and recorded videos. Because the time is less, only for 40 minutes the Zoom is going to provide. So it is not possible to explain each and everything. That's why I will send the recorded video. You have to watch, right? Give your response in the short box about the topic only, whether the topic is understood to you. So to understand any topic, you have to watch the previous videos also. Please watch the previous videos in my YouTube channel, Biomolecules. Please watch the carbohydrates, complete carbohydrates.